Hi, I'm Katie North, founder and CEO of North Financial Advisors. Today, I want to talk about balancing or figuring out what your future self needs are relative to your current self needs in relation to financial planning and your finances generally. So typically what I see in working with clients and prospects is that we tend to be very reactive with our finances. We tend to have this idea that everything must be done now. We need to focus on getting the job we want now, the salary we want now. We want to buy the electronic gadgets now. We want to go on the vacation now. And there's all these competing priorities, right? There's a lot less discussion, a lot less thought being given to our future self needs, the things that are happening in the future, whether they're expected or unexpected. And so a lot of financial planning is really trying to find that balance, right, between the now and the must-haves with the future and the things that are a little bit more nebulous and unknown. And this can sometimes be really scary for people. I think a lot of reason why procrastination exists as a technique to manage anxiety, really, because it feels, we're trying to avoid like the pain and worry, anxiety that we might have in the future about finishing a task. And we place our focus and emphasis. It's just much easier as humans to place our focus on emphasis on the present because it's sort of like a self-preservation technique in a way. And I think that's where it sort of dates back evolutionarily. But let's get back to how this impacts finances, right? So what you're going to end up having to do this right and to balance those future needs is actually trick your brain a little bit to try to focus a little bit more on the future self needs. One way you can do that is through automation, right? So I love this concept of save now and spend the rest, because if you can set up an automated way of saving money for a down payment on a house, the down payment on the next car that you want to buy, or the next vacation, right? And it happens automatically. You don't have to do anything. It's a way for you to achieve your goal without you having had to procrastinate on it, think about it in the present, or focus in any way. It just happens in the background. So tricking your brain is sort of a really smart way of kind of tripping up the circuit that hardwires us to focus on the present. Retirement is kind of another example of one of those really difficult future needs that we all have. It's ever present, planning for retirement, right? But I bet you probably don't know that you need to have 1 times your salary saved by the time you're 30 or 35. And by age 40, 45, you need to have 2 times your salary saved. If you're not on track to do that, don't fret, but you need to start focusing on your future self a little bit more. You need to adjust your priorities. And one way you can do that is by automatically every single year when you get your raise or your bonus or both, you share half of it with your future self. So you take half of that raise that you get and you put it towards your current self needs, the vacation, the fun stuff, the now stuff, right? And then you take half of the salary increase and you put it towards your retirement. So a 4% raise, 2% goes to the current, 2% goes to the future self. And that's a really great way of handling it and sort of tricking your brain. This automation, I can't stress enough how helpful and valuable it really is. Another technique you can use is maybe a little bit more gentle or a gentle way to coax yourself into appreciating your future self is to think of your future self like someone you admire or want to be like or emulate, right? So designing your future self, taking some time to think through some exercises that put you into the future as to how you see yourself in the future, what you see your job being, how much money you have, how you spend your money in the future. That can be a really great way of getting you focused on what those needs might be and help you conceive of what it might take to get there. So an example of that a question I love to ask clients is, if starting tomorrow all your financial needs were taken care of, what do you think you would do and how would you spend your time? And how would that look different from where you are today? Deadlines can be a really great motivator too. I know for me, it helps a lot to think about, your timeline for a big goal, future goal, as days as opposed to months or years. So say you want to buy a house in 2 years. Instead, replace those years with days. That's 730 days until you buy a house. You have 730 days to make it count, right? Retirement might be 25 years off, but when you think about it in terms of days, it doesn't quite seem so far away. So 25 years is only 9,125 days. That can be a really helpful motivator to have a deadline like that in front of you. Another great option is to get a buddy and tell someone about your goals. This works for New Year's resolutions too. When you have somebody kind of along for the ride with you, it's a great motivator. The final thing I'll mention is it really, really helps to celebrate your wins, no matter how small, as you work towards your goals. And this is why having a financial advisor can be so helpful, because it's really part of my job to help you not only recognize and balance your current self needs with your future needs, but be encouraging in helping you find that balance and helping you celebrate when you achieve it. Think about those things. Let me know if that resonates with you. If you want more tips like these, feel free to check out northfinancialadvisors.com, our blog, or feel free to subscribe to this channel.